Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is the show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Today's question has created a buzz inside our Facebook community. Now, there's a private Facebook group that I have. It's for professional house cleaners. These are people that own a cleaning company or they work for a cleaning company. If you're not a member, come on over. We would love to have you as a member. But the question today is, where do I find my next Mulligan? Now, I wrote a book about a year ago called How to Start Your Own House Cleaning Company. And inside this book, I talked about the power of a mulligan. Now, I'm very specific about when you're hired for a particular job, you should go and do the job that you're paid to do and no more, okay? It's not the time when you go in and you change the world and you spend an extra 3 hours that you're not being paid to clean up somebody's mess because they were super messy this week. Do the job you are paid for and get out. That is your job. You are paid to do a specific job. That's it. Okay, the exception is the mulligan. Now, the mulligan is I'm going to go a little bit extra. I'm going to do a little bit of something I wasn't paid to do on my way out the door. Now, the rule for the mulligan is it must be noticeable immediately. And so as the customer comes home, this is not something they paid you to do. This is a little something extra. If you finished up early and you have just a minute, do one extra thing. Now, as you're cleaning a person's house, you're going to see things that need to be done because we're trained with that eye to look and go, oh my gosh, I so wish I had time to clean that today. And you don't, because it's not what you're paid to do. It's either part of deep cleaning or it's just something that it's not part of your job. And so as you leave, if you have just a second, run back and do that one little thing. Now, in our group, we love to share our mulligan experiences because the customer comes home and they know you're not going to do this. But then you did. And it's like, oh my gosh, what a nice little surprise. It's like leaving the customer a little tip. Now, for example, there's a front door, and the front door has 2 panels of glass on the side. Those panels of glass would fall within your regular cleaning. But the one above it, typically we wouldn't do that because we can't reach it. You would need a step stool. So what happens is on a mulligan, you might clean the transom above that front door. You might step outside and clean the other side of the transom. Now they're coming down the steps first thing in the morning and they look out, and for the first time in a long time, they can see through that transom and they're like, oh my goodness, my house cleaning lady cleaned that extra little window. They went to extra trouble to make that happen. Or it could be that the little lights that are outside on the front porch, right, as you walk in the front door, you might clean those lights. That would be a mulligan. Now, there was a woman who her house cleaning client said, don't worry about the playroom. I didn't have time to pick it up today. And as the house cleaner was cleaning, she saw that it was going to take all of 3 or 4 minutes to pick up the playroom and to vacuum it. And so after she cleaned the whole house, after everything was amazing, after she'd done her inspection and she checked off her worksheets, she went back and she cleaned the playroom and vacuumed her way out. And then she took a before and an after picture. And she sent those to the customer and she said, because I appreciate your business, and just the before and after picture. And the lady's like, oh my gosh, no way, that is so cool. Thank you so much. High five. And so it made the customer super happy. It was a way of just saying thank you for your business. So if you have a chance, and like I say, it's not something you get paid for. This is not in your normal realm of cleaning. This is not part of your routine cleaning. This is something a little bit extra. And there's a whole list, and there's a list in the book of things that you can do as your mulligan. So it's a great way just to stay in front of your customers and to say, hey, you matter to me. You're important. I want to do just a little bit more. I want to do just a little bit more than I was paid to do. Because you know what? Those mulligans are what people talk about when they're standing at the school bus stop. So people are like, oh, well, my house cleaning lady, she didn't show up today. And someone else is like, yeah, I've gone through a dozen house cleaners. Someone else says, you're not going to believe my house cleaner. She was paid to do this, but she went and she did something totally different in addition to. She did all the stuff she was supposed to do and a little bit more. And they're like, no way, I got to have your house cleaner. And I can't tell you how many jobs our team has picked up from the mulligans. It's a great way to get referrals. And so you're not asking for extra money. You're not bragging about it. And you can't tell, this is part of the rule, you can't tell anyone about it except in our private Facebook group, We want to share those mulligans with each other because we want to get ideas from each other on little extra things we can do that will make a difference. But we don't want to brag about it and tell our other customers, well, I did this at so-and-so's house, because then they will come to expect it. And a mulligan is not to be expected. It's a surprise. It's like a little, hey, it's awesome being your house cleaner. That's all it is. So if you haven't done a mulligan, I know you want to, and you should. They're super fun. It's a really fun game to play, and it makes everybody feel good. Again, it takes less than 5 minutes. This is like a little short something that you do on your way out the door. Make sure you've done all of your other work first. But if you are on the receiving end of a mulligan and it makes you feel like, hey, my house cleaner really cares, then you know what? Get on nextdoor.com. Leave a referral for your house cleaner. Like, oh my goodness, my house cleaner just came. She does all this amazing stuff. She shows up on time. And she went the extra mile and did a little something extra. You should totally call him or her and leave their phone number, because that is what referrals are all about. Do your mulligans, because they're so much fun. Okay, that's it for today. If you have any questions, go over to askahousecleaner.com, ask your questions. And if you like this tip, please share it with a friend or a house cleaner that's in your life. Okay, that's it. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.